I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the one.
Welcome to my annual Christmas letter. Okay, simmer down. I know, it was another year and really two. Okay, so backed by limited demand and because it embarrasses my family, I'm here to present the adventures, the revelations, and the consequences in the year of our Lord, 2021. The first part of the year was a blur, so let's just jump ahead to the spring, when the newly vaccinated population haltingly returned to routine, emerging from our homes like cicadas rising from the earth after a 17-year hibernation. We felt revitalized, albeit still under mask. As you'll recall from last year's hit video, I joined Zephyr with its superior health insurance benefits. So Lisa chose to exploit those benefits and decided to be a human medical experiment and independent drug trial participant. Between the vaccines, the Dupixent, a nerve test, cortisone shots, boosters, she's literally a life-size voodoo doll, but one that sneezes and snores. In June, our daughter, who goes by the name Peyton, turned 25. Our other daughter, I can't remember her name, the one who lives in Nashville, tried to live on her own, but failed, instead residing with the most demanding of roommates, a loudmouth feline named Sebastian. The picture doesn't do her loquaciousness justice. On our furry front, we sadly lost Beebs, born Lucky. She was the baby of the brood. Sad. And our former feline alpha male, Squeaky, has relinquished his title in several heavyweight rematches with the new rags to riches sparring star of the family, Balthazar, aka Bubba. And now Squeaky has been unceremoniously vanquished to the basement to live a nursing home type life as a caretaker for his mother, the aging, deaf, dumb, and blind Bridget. On the work front, I became unemployed again. Yes, yet another year losing a job and getting a new one. I've had so many jobs, my resume is longer than War and Peace. By the way, growing up, did anyone else think that the book was about a guy named Warren Peace? So, newly out of work, I prayed to St. Joseph, the patron saint of workers, but also the patron saint of fathers and families, travelers, the town of Sicily, expectant mothers, immigrants, house sellers and home buyers, craftsmen and engineers, and the universal church itself. I mean, that's a lot of Satan, if you ask me. Must be hard work. I gave up trying to be a saint pretty early in life, like age 4. I got in trouble for pulling my sister Jill's hair and was like, man, it's hard to be good. But it's good to be hard. By the time I was 10, pulling hair was ruled to be disqualifying in my nightly post-dinner third floor cage fight matches with Jill, thoughtfully umpired by my older brother Bill. So back to the new job. I started last month at IAS, and it's all good. It's a large, publicly traded, multi-billion-dollar corporation with real, smart, experienced, and mature people. And by that I mean there have old people there, like me. Speaking of age, this year I hit the epic milestone of 6 decades living on this third rock from one of the trillions of our universe's suns. And I'm humbled by the realization that the underlying condition of aging is, after all, the primary risk factor for late life decline and mortality. Yes, folks, getting old is the leading cause of death. As COVID approached the third quarter with a 4-touchdown lead over the Millers and their struggling quarterback and mediocre running attack, holy divergent analogy, Batman. Okay, so it was October, and we had the most mature, dare I say, sophisticated New York City weekend. We attended a surprise birthday party at the stuffy Colony Women's Club on Park Avenue, stayed in a king-size bed at the Hotel 57, ate kosher lox and bagels at a legit New York City deli, and capped it all off by a visit to the Museum of Modern Art. We pre-reserved tickets for the Automania exhibit, waited in line in the rain under mask for the doors to open to see, wait for it, 3 cars and an Airstream. A full 8 minutes later, with our thirst for car knowledge quenched, that's car knowledge, not carnal knowledge for those of you with debauched intellects, we then slinked back home to the doldrums of suburban New Jersey. Last winter, I logged days on the mountains and in summer frequented the sea and shore. I still have sand in my nooks and crannies as proof. I tended to my garden and attended concerts galore. George Thorogood, Joey Alexander, Jason Aldean, Warren Haynes, Lake Street Dive, Hardy, Gin Blossoms, Genesis, plus a respectable quartet of Dave Matthews shows, and even John Mulaney's first post-rehab Olivia Munn impregnation performance in Woodstock with Peyton for my birthday. September saw Lisa and me ziplining over the lush green New Hampshire forest at Gunstock Mountain and soaking in Lake Winnipesaukee shoreline, listening to an 80s cover band at Twin Docks. And for clarification, the music wasn't from the 80s. The band was in its 80s. The songs were from the 60s, and I felt 100. And we took a second ill-timed fall foliage trip to Vermont in October, where all the leaves were brown, and we experienced the season's first snowfall. Larry got his groovy UV on in Burlington, Vermont, and down in Manchester. Lisa was unimpressed. A fortnight hence, Lisa and I got the COVID and lost our sense of taste and smell. I would say it was the first time in my life I enjoyed Lisa's cooking, but she might watch this, so. Though actually, after 33 years of marriage, if she pays any attention to me all, with the exception of a nightly, quit stealing the covers, it's a miracle. Speaking of miracles, we finally bid a fond, lengthy farewell to the Bullocks. I swear Larry had going away parties for 2 months. Not that we necessarily wanted him to leave, but we kind of did. I wish to take a moment to acknowledge and denounce my former friend and new nemesis, Mark Bordick, for his fastidious auto-cleanliness obsession and my ensuing purchase of a monthly subscription with unlimited visits to Frankie's Car Wash and Discount Oil Center Change. I wash the car more often than I do my own body. It drives Lisa crazy on both fronts. Whoa! It's time for my wash, wax, and undercarriage bath to remove the sand from my nooks and crannies. As I tape this holiday manifesto, the new COVID variant is surging with the very ominous name Omicron. Delta's name was cute and simply meant change, but Omicron? It could have gone with COVID Max or COVID Plus, COVID Prime, or even, I can't believe it's not COVID. But Omicron? Seems like we've come to the Marvel Comics villain stage of the virus, like an evil supervillain's bioengineered weapon of global annihilation, and he's asking for
$1 million.
But I digress. This holiday letter should be all about family, so I'm happy to report that my wife and children still have all 10 fingers and toes, Any new mom or dad knows what I'm talking about. So, we're good. And now, to end this second disastrous pandemic year, Lisa and I are off to Mexico for New Year's. You could say we're giving up on America. So, fuck you all. I'm off to Cabo, baby. Peace.